Hello everyone. For today, I am going to explain one important theory for education, Behaivorist theory of language learning. When we talk about the behaviorist theory of language learning, we need the refers developed in the early 20th century by pioneer psychology like John B. Watson and B. F. Skinner. The behaviorist theory revolutionized the study of language. It posits that language is primarily learned through observable behavior, emphasizing imitation practice being particularly influential in understanding how children acquire their native language. What background or foundation? The behaviorist theory emerged as a direct counter-movement against introspection-based psychology and traditional grammatical analysis. Its proponents, including prominent figures like Leonard Bonfire, Albert Morer, view language acquisition as a conditional response to environmental stimuli. This foundational shift places immense importance on the external environment's role in shaping and reinforcing language behaviors, departing from theories that emphasize innate predisposition or internal cognitive states. What case principle of behavior language learning? Imitation, operant conditioning, reinforcement, and stimulus response. First of all, in imitation, the children learn the mimic, the speech patterns, vocabulary, and sentence structure of their parents, givers, and others in their immediate environment. Secondly, reinforcement. Positive feedback such as praise, smiles, or attention determined correct languages use making it more likely and repeat. Thirdly, operant conditioning, language behavior are shaped and refined through a system of reward for desirable response and sometimes punishment and undeserved ones. Finally, stimuli response. Repeat association between specific stimuli, saying an object, and linguistic response, naming of objects, from integrated language habits. The example of conditioning in language acquisition, positive reinforcement. When a child points a cat and says milk, and a parent responds with a warm smile and offers the milk. The child's attempt at communication is possibly reinforcement encourage future use the word. Repetition of practice. Children refine their pronunciation and grammatical structures through repeated attempts and consistent practice, often guided by adult correction or affirmations. Critiques and limitation. Despite the initial impact, the behavior theory faced significant criticism. A major challenge was inability to explain how children can generate novel sentences that have never heard before, suggesting language learning is more than mere imitation. Linguist Chomsky, the prominent critique, argued for inactive cognitive structure like an universal grammar, which allow for rapid language acquisition and creativity. They will also struggle to account for the learning of abstract words and the supremely uniformity of language developed across diverse human population. Even environments with minimal reinforcement, furthermore, the theories heavy reliance on external rewards were questioned as children acquire language even with less attentive parents. Comparison with other theories. Native theories Chomsky contend that human passes an inactive language acquisition device that enables in learn language. Cognitive theory, Pigeon, Piaget, focus on mental process like perception, memory, and problem solving, seeing language as a reflection of cognitive development. 3. Social learning theory, Bandura emphasize learning through observation of others, even through direct reinforcement and important social contexts. And finally, behaviorist theory, Skinner. As such, language is learning of lacks through imitation, repetition, and reinforcement of observable behaviors. In educational applies of behavior, real and practice methods, repetitive exercise and memorization are used to internalize vocabulary and grammar rules. Positive reinforcement, teacher use praise, rights, and other rewards and encourage correct linguistic response and motivation learning. Structured learning, learning outcomes are often measurable and broken down into discrete behavior, making progress, teaching straightforward. In conclusion, legacy of behaviorist theory. Behaviorist theory of language learning, while facing significant criticism, remains an important chapter in understanding how we acquire language. It's pioneered a scientific approach, emphasizing observable behavior and environmental influence, and provide the foundation for many practical language teaching methodologies still in use today. Despite its limitation, particularly concerning creativity and innovative cognitive structure, it coordinates regarding the rules of environment and reinforcement are integrated into more complex theories. In continuum, to inform our understanding of our repeated discourse and feedback contributes to linguistic competence, shaping both early language acquisition and structured learning processes. Thank you very much. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.